Have you ever woke up one day and got a whole bunch of unexplained charges and you didn't know where they came from? Well, that's not exactly what happened. Actually, that's not what happened at all, but here's my story. Here we have pretty much like 99.9% of the parts for the Porsche, all replacement arms and everything. I went with OE and OEM from FCP Euro, so shout out to these guys. All these cool things in about one day, or if I have time, I'll just drive up and go to them and get it, but all proper bolts, everything. This is a new axle, literally the same exact thickness, and that's one of the things I was concerned for. These boots seem very, very nice and squishy and healthy. I do want to kind of peek in here and see, how much grease they have. Also did buy some extra packs of axle grease. This is what I took out the car. This seems like an OEM original axle with split boots on each freaking side. On this one, which is the driver's side, after picking up the car, I did notice this side was split, and I decided to go to Suncoast Parts or Pelican Parts, one or the other, and purchase a boot to go ahead and replace this. However, upon further examination, not only is it ripped on this side as well, but comparing how this thing moves and slides around to the new one that I got, it's in terrible shape, and could eventually cause major issues, especially being that I launched the car and everything. So this just feels a lot better. Now, unfortunately, I'm missing the coilovers, and I have a bit of a story for you guys. So I reached out to Mammoth Racing, ordered a set of their Bilstein coilovers for my Porsche 911. And I'll admit, never heard of the site before, but they had a super dope discount, which lowered the price effectively around like 350 bucks. So I figured, why not? Bilstein's Bilstein. Obviously, they took the money out immediately, and I received every other part before that part, reached out to the company, and they assured me that they'll give me a tracking number within 48 hours because it shows shipped. However, 48 hours came, went, I hit them up again, asked them, where's my freaking coilovers? And they said they'll get back to me ASAP. They'll email the department and they'll ship it via freight, which when I made the purchase, it says ship via UPS. Freight is something typically a little different from what I know. I ordered a bumper, maybe a hood from Keys Motorsports. It's a company where you got to just kind of meet up with them, schedule an appointment. It seems a little sketch, but I've had no complaints with them. I don't understand why coilovers would come that way. It didn't make any sense. I've bought coilovers before, springs, shocks, everything, and it was shipped via the regular services that we use. So that was a little weird. When I reached out to them again, when I haven't gotten it back by the end of business that next day, they just stopped responding to me. Never answer any phone calls, text message, emails, nothing. They just don't answer anything. They just completely ghost you. And at that point, I had no other choice but to contact my bank. Luckily, this day and age, 2024, whether you use your debit card, your credit card, really don't matter. You just call your bank and they sort it out for you. Now, I will say I purchased it with an Apple card, Apple credit card, which is through Goldman Sachs. And I love my Apple card. It's super easy. One of the reasons why I purchased it, you just double click on the phone. Everything's loaded up. Your shipping addresses, everything is perfect, 100%. There's no error be made. It's just 2 taps and it works. Same thing for paying the bill, 2 taps and it works. They alert you. They'll let you know how much money you need to put to avoid interest, which I have over 13 credit cards, and I don't carry a balance on any of them because, well, I'm not a fan of interest. Now, how great Apple Card is with everything else that I just described, they freaking suck when it comes to disputing a claim. This isn't the first claim I had to do a dispute with Apple or Goldman Sachs. Probably, maybe the second or the third. I really don't have to do it too much, but the process is really not that smooth. They tell me they're gonna request more information later. I've submitted claims through Chase, which is, I think, by far my favorite, and like Amex and stuff like that. And it's just pretty much like, yo, we'll just put the money back, credit the account, deposit your account back, and we'll figure it out. And literally 10 times out of 10, they figured it out. This time, I'm pretty confident that everything will be taken care of, simply because this is 100% a fucking scam. These guys straight ghosted me, but once I texted them, I let them know, like, hey, bro, I reached out to my bank. I let them know, like, the situation. Yo, they texted me back that same freaking minute and said, like, oh, we're so sorry. We'll cancel your order. They even sent me an email telling me my order was canceled and that I should receive our money in 5 to 6 business days. The only thing I don't understand is, like, what's the goal here? Like, I'm scratching my head right now trying to figure out what's the purpose, because I looked on Reddit and apparently they do this to a lot of people. Like, this is very common. I haven't seen one transaction that didn't sound like a bot that really went through and was seamless. Are they like collecting information from people and selling it? Like, is it a scam that goes a little bit further down than I can imagine? Because I don't know what they're getting out of it. Like, what are you getting out of taking people's money for the short time? And I mean, fighting with them maybe months, maybe weeks, you know, and then just giving them their money back. It's what is the goal here at the end of the day? My scammer supporters, yo, put me on. Like, what's the goal here? What's the point? I have no freaking clue. Like, what is that? The only thing I can think of is you selling information to people that you gathered from people you like scammed. I guess any future advice I can give you guys is, one, just try to find a reputable shop. Just because it's on a credit card or your debit card, which has like, you know, zero liability protection or money back guarantee or whatever the case may be, don't just throw your money everywhere. You know what I mean? It ain't Zelle or like some weird like Venmo transaction, which you're pretty much screwed. It's like giving somebody cash. But at the same time, I guess, you know, you just gotta do your due diligence out there. You know, get a credit card if you don't have one. Definitely, it's really good to have some decent perks. Like I said, I have like over 13 credit cards. I stopped counting at 13. Do you need that many? No. The only reason I have 13 credit cards, I'll be real with you guys, is because, and I know this might not make any sense to you, but back in the day, right, when I didn't have all these credit cards, they used to always give me these promotions. Like, if you spend 500, you get 300 or 200, or if you spend 1,000, you get like 500 back, or whatever the case may be. And it's just like the initial sign-on offer thing. So my credit was good, so I just hit, bow, apply. I got the card. I use it for whatever I wanted to use it for. Let's say I had to pay car insurance or grocery shopping, gas, things that you're gonna have to do automatically. Even if you wanna buy a car part and the car part is $500, you use that card for $500 and you get back to $200, and the car part was $200 off. You know, that's how I used to get around ways, man. When I didn't have a lot of money and I wanted something, I mean, hey, let me just use my credit, I guess, right? We got to get on here. Got to hit it with a little launch control to get on the highway in the X3. I'm screwed. Let's see. I'm gonna hit it. Let's see. Let the boost build. It's hard to gauge to know when to let the boost build because there's so much traffic right here. Oh, and it's gutless after that. It's gutless. After that first kickoff, bro, nothing. Oh man, I probably burnt like freaking $5 in gas just doing that little launch, man. I like this freaking thing. Update on the X3 though. Man, I already want to get something else, man. Man, the 4-cylinder power is really getting at me now. This shit is slow. It's slow. Be honest, this thing is pretty much gonna stay slow. I'm not a believer in making a car that is disappointingly slow a little bit less disappointingly slower by putting the tune on it, especially when you got a car like that in front of me. You see that? That's the B58 X3, which is pretty much the same car. I think that just has like an M Sport package on it and a better engine, which makes it a whole different car. Gas mileage ain't really all that freaking different from, you know, baby in a B58 versus wailing in this thing, which kind of makes sense. But yeah, I find it more fun to make a car that's impressively fast, even faster via tune, and not, oh, I'm about to make some people mad, because I got to get on this exit. You know, I'm in no way, shape, or form saying you buy this car. I bought this car because I wanted it to be fast. You know, I just thought that I can live a longer time period with a car this slow, which I don't know. I really don't know, man. I'm trying my hardest. So in the meantime, between time, I've been using a bit of parts cleaner and some rags and a little brush right here to try to take care of some of this stuff. That remarkably got real clean. There's a lot of grease here from the busted axle, and these came out really good. I got to figure out how to get this bearing out, get this little thing out for the stabilizer end link. One of the tie rod pieces are jammed in there. So I do have my work cut out for me. So by the end of tonight, I'm definitely gonna take care of all of this stuff, clean off the shields so that everything's ready to go back on. But by the end of the day, everything's pushed back, everything's delayed because I didn't even order the new coilovers yet. I gotta figure out a site to order them off of, maybe even overnight them, just so we can get this thing back on the road. Because, bro, you don't understand, I miss driving this car. I really do miss it. That's the only thing I really do, bro. I don't really have any freaking like vices or no drugs or nothing like that. I just freaking drive like a madman. So I'm going through withdrawal. So in the end, I guess this was also like a quick update or whatever. The car literally looks exactly the freaking same as I left it. It's pretty depressing, I will be honest with you. But listen, everything else in my life is going pretty good, so I really can't complain. And hopefully we'll see this thing out of the garage and ready to rock one day. Mike from Slow Speed. Peace.